Look, a lot of crazy shit been happening lately when it comes to black people. And in America, there are two Americas, one for black and one for everybody else. That's just the reality of it. The rights that black people think they have, that we think we don't have. We really don't. I saw something online that said if you're black, you don't have the right to flee and you don't have the right to defend yourself. That's real. Being black in America, if you die, it is your fault. That's just the reality of what they're showing us, what they've shown us historically. If we are killed unalive by somebody, especially somebody non-black, it is our fault. I can go down the list. Black woman that was boiling water, killed. They did a wellness check on a black woman. She was killed in her home. A black man was legally carrying a firearm, was pulled over. He was killed. A black man over loose cigarettes. He was choked and killed. A black man was detained, put in handcuffs, put over on his stomach. Officer put a knee on his neck. He was killed. Piece of shit known as George Zimmerman was told not to pursue. He was coming home from a convenience store. He was killed. 14-year-old Cyrus, he went into the store, was harassed from the moment he went in, left calmly. He was pursued the length of a football field, shot in the back. He was killed. 12-year-old boy playing with a toy gun in the park. He was killed. Young black man at Walmart was shopping or one of the stores, and he picked up a gun from the shelf. He was killed and was lied on and was told that he walked in with the weapon. It was the store's weapon. He was killed. Black man jogging in his own neighborhood. He was hunted down like a fucking animal. He was killed. This ain't even talking about all the beatdowns black folks have received. This is not talking about the railroading cases. We're not even talking about what happened to Carmelo Anthony. And we know, had the shoe been on the other foot, had it been a 5'9", 5'8" white boy minding his business, 2 6'1" black dudes, it would have been a totally different story. He would have been a hero. But again, when you're black, it is your fault. I told my homie the other day, I said, look, you walk your dog every day. If all it takes is for one fucking moron to go and see you walking your dog and be like, who's that black man walking that dog? That dog looks like one of my neighbor's dogs, and wants to confront you and be the hero, because that's one of the problems. They have an entitlement complex, a hero complex. So when people talk about, well, it was just a bottle of water, it's $1. It doesn't matter. You're black in America. The history speaks for itself. Cyrus killing and the Carmelo Anthony situation is some of the most Karen shit that I've seen. It's typical Karen mentality. Look at both cases. What do you see? A fucking Karen. Child's wife. Asian, but a fucking Karen. That's who instigated that shit. That type of behavior is why Emmett Till was murdered, lynched. And not only will they escalate the situation, instigate the situation, start the whole fucking thing, but then they'll play the victim and gaslight the fuck out of you. That is historical. That is America. They will gaslight the fuck out of you. They're the ones that will tell you it's rain, and they just spit in your face. They'll tell you it's rain. Make you question your whole fucking existence, your whole worth on this planet. Because they're entitled. They're privileged. And I heard a quote years ago that is still stuck in my brain to this day. And it's something like this. I'm just paraphrasing it. But he said, to the privileged, Equality sounds like oppression, or equality feels like oppression to those who are privileged. Why? Because everything is about them. Think about a spoiled, rotten child. Everything is about that child. The moment you have that child share, or the moment you turn your attention from that child to make sure somebody else is taken care of, that child will lose his fucking mind. Why? Because everything is built around the child. That is fucking America. Everything is built around whiteness. So it doesn't matter. You could be a black man, black woman in a fucking coma. You could be in a 20-year coma. And an officer or a person, doctor, whoever, just happens to be in a room, and you wake up scared to death because you're waking up out of a coma, and they will unalive your ass, and they will say it was your fucking fault for waking up. That is America. This is not the Chappelle Show. This is not a comedy sketch. This is not SNL. This is real fucking life. And I'm glad that a lot of us understand this. I wish a lot more of us understood this. And unfortunately, it's not going to change anytime soon. If we want to be peaceful, it doesn't do nothing. We want to be violent. I mean, I don't know. But it seems like no matter what we fucking do, they are determined not to mind their fucking business. The level of entitlement is crazy. They told us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and historically we did that. Look at what happened. Look at how Central Park got here. Look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. Look at the city in Pennsylvania that they bombed. When we mind our business, it makes them sick because they need control, like a fucking narcissist. That's what it is. So if you're black in America, you don't have rights. That's how they see it. It doesn't matter. You have a gun. Why did they have a gun? Why did they speak to the officer in that tone? If you're a black athlete, why are they complaining? They should just shut up and dribble. Be happy. But when you're a white athlete, oh, that person is courageous. They know their value. They're a true leader. They're trendsetters. They're trailblazers, right? They're passionate. But when black people do the same thing, we're thugs. So this is how they see us. Systemic injustice, systemic racism has been going on for hundreds of years in this country. And they're nosy as fuck, because when black people are minding their business, they're scared because they don't know what we have planned. And all we want to do is mind our fucking business, raise our kids, and survive. That makes them totally uncomfortable because everything is about them. When Solange wrote, "Don't touch my hair," she wasn't talking to black people. Who thinks they're entitled to touch other people? Whiteness. That's who. And another thing is the low fucking IQ, because when you're dealing with a lot of these racists, it's not just the fact that they're racist, that's bad enough. It's their IQ is so fucking low. Look at a lot of these police officers and the things that they do when it comes to black people. Dumb as a rock. And excuse me, no disrespect to rocks. Rocks are beautiful. Just dumb as fuck. With the Chows, it wasn't about a bottle of water. It was the hatred inside. It was the conditioning, the proximity to whiteness. That's what did it. That's what had them, their dumbasses run out the store and do what they did. Dumb as fuck. But consciously or subconsciously, they know that the system rewards people like that. What did Tupac say? Pull a trigger, kill a nigga, he's a hero. That's what it is. Had Carmelo Anthony had a twin and went up to young Timothy, and the same exact thing happened, the same fucking scenario played out, we would have a whole fucking different thing. Probably wouldn't have been a trial. And if there was a trial, he would have got off just like Mr. fucking Chow. And we as black people, what, we supposed to just sit back and do nothing because we got iPhones? because we got bank accounts, because we can drink out the same fucking water fountain as people who don't give two fucks if we live or die. Don't give two fucks. And it's not just the people that actively want to see blacks die or uh, uh, in servitude or whatever. Think about the people who are apathetic. They're like, I'm not bothering black people, but I don't give a fuck either. They don't feel no empathy for Cyrus' family or Cyrus. They don't feel no empathy for Carmelo. And I love that social media shows us how many people that we either know or we see online that are just pieces of shit. Social media allows that. You couldn't see that in the 90s. A lot of these topics weren't discussed at work. They weren't discussed at church. They weren't discussed in a forum as open and honestly and as easily accessible as it is today. You can see a lot of these people are just pieces of shit. So when you take a piece of shit who happens to buy into whiteness, is racist, and IQ is the size of a fucking toothpick, this is what you get. These people will kill you over property. That's why when I'm walking, I try not to walk too close to cars, especially when I'm in certain neighborhoods, because I already know all it takes is one fucking hero, one fucking genius to run out of his or her house and act like they're so afraid or act like I'm casing the joint, and me to try to de-escalate or try to keep it moving, but I'm the bad guy if I move because I'm black, remember, so I don't have any rights. So if I talk back, I'm wrong. If I be quiet, I'm wrong. Well, why didn't he speak up? Why didn't he speak up? If he wasn't guilty, why did he run? If he didn't want any issues, why didn't he leave? The goalpost is always fucking changed. And don't be a black woman in this country. Don't get me started on the medical care. Don't get me started on these hospitals, which are death camps for a lot of black women, especially if you're pregnant. Don't get me started on that, how they're still believing the lie from slavery that black people can handle pain better and we don't experience pain. Don't get me started on the lie that they still think we're lazy. We've built this fucking country. This very country would not exist the way it is without black people. And you know what's so funny? All these morons talking about this is our country, go back to Africa and all this stupid shit like that. It's just ignorant. But if every black person could teleport out this fucking country, you know how fast this country would fail? Those poor whites who think they're better than blacks because they're white, even though they're poor. No legacy, no nothing, little to no morality, but because they're white, they still believe they're better than other people because they've been sold a lie. They've been sold that whiteness is enough. That's why you can have white mediocrity and you have to have black excellence. That's where that came from. Right? So if you're still watching this shit, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to try to use my close friends more. Not worried about an algorithm with this. I'm just speaking my mind. So many people should be alive. So many people should be free and not in prison right now. And it often starts because somebody who is white or wants proximity to whiteness or is non-black can't mind their fucking business, has a Karen mentality, has an entitlement issue. And that's just what it is. And it often ends with one of us being in jail or worse, death. And some can argue whether prison or death is worse. That's a whole different conversation. So if you're black in particular, be encouraged. Focus on your mental health. Go see a movie, go to the beach, take a vacation, do whatever you can to survive. Because they continue to remind you and I that we ain't shit, and we know that's a lie. But they believe it. The people in power believe it. The dumbass jurors, the 12 morons in these cases, they believed it. The piece of shit judge believed it. These weak ass district attorneys who only care about themselves, They believed it. These morons online, these cowards who a lot of times won't even show their faces, don't have any content of their own. They just get online to talk shit, hiding in their house. The keyboard warriors, they believe it. The dumbass, he believes it. That's the world you living in. Let's be real. That's the world we live in. So, yeah, I'll be back. Speak my mind some more. I've already talked more than I planned to. My bad, y'all, but I had to share it. Stay safe. Enjoy your life because tomorrow's not promised. Your freedom is not promised tomorrow. You are black in America. You better enjoy your fucking life every single day. Every single day.